Yo boys, how we all doing? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. As you can see, man, by the title, by the thumbnail, by the highlights, we are here today to go through the 100 custom tactics. Also, I'm going to go through my controller settings, my camera settings, all that stuff. I'll put timestamps for you guys so you can skip forward to that if you guys want to check those out. You're thinking, what's with all these loans? I'll show you on the screen. We've sold up all the players. We've gone completely liquid. We're currently sitting at about 3.8 mil. And I'll go over the packs quickly as well. I'm going completely liquid, full send for team of the year. So fingers crossed, man. Hopefully by the end of team of the year, well, as in by the time it starts, 500 maybe, 520, 530, 550 depending. But for this upcoming weekend league, man, obviously you guys may or may not know, but the streak did end at about 116-0. We ended up matching a New Zealand pro. At the end of the day, man, like if you're going to lose, you might as well lose to someone who's theoretically better than you. And he was, man. 4-2 extra time. Absolute class player. Had a better team. Had R9, Cruyff, all the best cards, man. Absolutely crazy team. Out-teamed me, outplayed me. And sometimes, man, you can't win them all. I didn't expect to never lose, so I'm glad I got to the 100-0, man. But after Team of the Year, man, we're going to try again. 200-0, you never know. But the team on your screen, the custom tactics, boys, this is what you're all here for, man. The 4-2-2 100 custom tactics. Now, it's going to be exactly the same as the 60 custom tactics. Obviously, if something's not broken, don't fix it. 46 width, 60 depth, balanced build-up play, balanced chance creation, 52 width, plays in the box. You can alter this depending on what style you play. Counter-attacking is very powerful in this game, so it just depends what you want to do. Corners and free kicks are all personal preference. For me, I'd like to have a few players back. I like to play short corners. Obviously, there is a meta this year with the corners where it's quite easy if you've got someone like a Virgil van Dijk or a defender like that, you know, a Wout Weghorst, where he just headers are so easy. But for me personally, I like to play short, so I don't want to get counter-attacked. So I keep it on that. For the strikers, obviously I do have loans in place, but the custom tactics are still the same. Apologies, I probably should have done this video before I sold all my players, but I think if I had waited at this current stage in 2 days, I would have lost about 600k, so I'm not going to risk it, boys. I just sold up the second I finished quals and the second I finished weekend league, man. But obviously, you want your two best strikers in the forward line, and then Al Lorraine and Ribery as my two wide players. Instructions though, on your left striker, you want stay central, get in behind, normal interceptions, basic defensive support. Now for me personally, you want your faster player to get in behind. You want the, say for example for me, I had Ginola and Griezmann. Griezmann was the slower player, so I didn't have him as the get in behind player. I had him as the playmaker. He had better passing, better dribbling, etc. So he was the one I wanted to drop forward and get the ball. For the other striker, stay central, get in behind, stay forward. It's pretty stock standard. You don't really need to go wrong with this. Let your players do the custom animations, their custom AI traits, all that stuff. For the wingers, pretty stock standard. Come back on defense. You want as much defensive support as you can to help get out of the press and help build up the field. Get in the box for crosses is really important. You want those back post crosses. You always want your players running in left side, right side, whatever you can. Your lamb and your ram, you always want that support. Drift wide is quite important. You want to play on the line as much as you can. The defensive AI is pretty good at tracking, so you want your player as wide as possible. Pretty stock standard, man. Normal interceptions, drift wide, get in the box across, come back on defense. Now for your midfield duo. Obviously, Kroos, Zidane, cracked midfielders. Not really defensively. One is better than the other. They have very similar stats. I think one's about 76 defending, one's about 79. So Kroos is probably a little bit better. But it's who you want going forward is important. For me, I want Kroos staying back a little bit, so I've got a balanced defense, stay back while attacking, normal interceptions, cover center, stick to position. Cover center is important. You always want your players in the center, man. You don't want them drifting out wide, being out of position. And then for Zidane, I have him on balanced attack, cover center, balanced defense, normal interception, stick to position. For me personally, Zidane has insane dribbling, insane passing, insane shooting. I would rather Zidane in and around the box over someone like a Tony Kroos. Say you had Kante and like De Bruyne. You obviously want De Bruyne going forward. You don't want Kante going forward because Kante was like mid-70 shooting. That's not who you want in and around the box. Obviously, they both have 5-star, so that aspect you're pretty well covered. For your right back and your left back, stay back while attacking, normal interceptions. Overlap's important. If they can see the run and the AI thinks the run is available, accessible, it'll make the run. That is quite important. It gives you so many options over the time. Obviously, in a lot of my gameplays, you'll see that like Mbappe or Al Lorraine will stop the ball and the right back will cover. Usually the AI will either track the run and then you can just keep moving forward, or they won't track the run and you've got someone in behind. And for the centre back, stay back while attacking, normal deception, stick to position. That's pretty stock standard. You always want your centre backs on stay back while attacking. And then for your keeper, come for crosses and balanced. Keepers these days, with how good corners are, you want them to come for crosses. Not all keepers will do this. Usually you want someone who has that natural trait for comes for crosses. But boys, that is pretty well it for the 100 and 0 422 custom tactics. I'll show you boys the camera settings and the in-game settings. Stay with me. Boys, for the controller settings, I'm just going to go over them quickly. Pause if you need to. Obviously, they're all pretty stock standard, man. Auto clearances are all off. Jockeying is manual. Through pass assistance, semi. FIFA trainer, obviously, that's just because I'm in squad battles. Usually I have that off. Time finishing off. If you're really good at it, I'd say go for it, man. For me personally, I just have never needed it. I probably should practice it, but it is what it is, man. Auto switching, all that stuff, man. There's a few things that you don't really need to change. Right stick switching is very important. You want it on classic. This FIFA, defensively, they decided to change it. It was on like alternative or something like that, man. It was on adaptive. Adaptive has screwed so many people over. It took pros so long to figure out like why they couldn't switch. You want it on classic. That's old school. It's the way it was last year, the way it was here before. That is very important to have on, man. All this stuff is all quite basic, man. I'm going to go through all of this. Just pause, go back on the video if you need to, man. This is all pretty stock standard. For attacking defense, I just play the normal basics, man. I'm just going to go into the camera settings. Stay with me. Alrighty boys, camera settings, man. Single player, it's tele broadcast. The rest is just default. I keep all of this default, man. Obviously it's all individual, whatever you guys want to play. Most of the time, 99% of pro players, competitive players will play on tele broadcast. The rest of the stuff is pretty stock standard, man. Like I don't really play with anything different in visual and audio. I actually take all the sound off for YouTube, but you guys can have whatever you guys want. But that's all pretty stock standard, man. Telebroadcast is definitely what you want. You guys can alter this a little bit, man, depending what you feel like using. But for me personally, this is what I enjoy. This is what's good. This is what I'm sick and do. This is what's got me 100-0. Don't want to change anytime soon. As always, boys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, man, as always, man, hit that like button down below. I'd appreciate it, man. 100-0 is a very, very hectic feat. I went 100 games without losing. It's 5 weekend leagues in a row. I'd appreciate your like. Let me know down below what you guys are using in the weekend league. What's your best record, etc. How many packs you guys have got for Team of the Year. And also, man, just enjoy your weekend. Have a good one, boys. Peace.